with your experience working on this film, what lessons have you learned from this collaboration that have made you become a better actress or maybe even a better individual?
When you sent me, the link to it, I saw it and everything, and I was like, wow, this is really good. And I feel like at least my part of it, my scene of it, like we did in such a short amount of time, like a day, right?
Yeah,
But the way that it came out definitely looked like it was more than that. So I learned how to create such amazing art in such a short amount of time.
of course.
And yeah, and also I generally empathize with her otherwise, but I think that I had to tap into a place where I had to empathize with someone again who I might have otherwise even slightly remotely judged. I don't like to judge my characters, but would have otherwise judged had I not read the script, like just her as what she does and this and that, like the surfaced values. But once I played her, once I saw her unsurfaced values and needs and wants, they're very they're actually real, and they're raw, which is beautiful and vulnerable. So I think that it taught me, again, going back to it, to how to tap more into that empathetic side of me, into a character that, yeah, I might not have otherwise been as empathetic, but would have still, but you know what I mean?
No, for sure. So are you saying that if you didn't read the script, if you just watched it as a viewer, you would still judge the character?
Not
Or
even sure, like if you gave me Jen and what she does, like her job and what
oh, of
she
course, yeah.
from and all that, and even that in its own, which is great because it taught me more empathy.
Well, no, though that's my job as a writer, right? The best writers, they say, are always challenging the narrative, always challenging the audience. It's like she comes from this dark, dingy, dishonorable past. Would you side with someone like this? And then as I write, that's why the dialogue is very important to me, as you kind of, and also for the purposes of the short film, because we can't really show through visuals, but as you see, the fear on her face, through her eyes, and you hear that, this is not something that she's choosing to do. You don't even know her past. You have to use your imagination. Like, how did she even end up in that situation? It's kind of like all that matters now is what she wants to do going forward. And that's a lot of that a message that kind of always comes back to me. So it's not about where you're from. Is all that matters is where you're headed. And that's how I kind of treat my characters. It's like we shouldn't judge them on like their past. Back to what you were saying, we shouldn't let those things define them. What matters is in this moment, are you looking to be a better person? And it's a very touching story that way, right? In a way, it's like, she's accepted her past. She knows where she's wrong. So much so that she's willing to continue it, not to jeopardize the safety of her boyfriend, right? And that he doesn't have to get in harm's way of getting financial means. But it's poetic in a way, right? Where it's like, whatever happens to her doesn't happen to him, right? So
absolutely. And to add to what you're saying, it's like Jen is and I saw this in her, and of course I created my own like little story for her, my own little background to her that I won't mention, but
right.
I think it shows.
I remember this, by the way.
Yeah, I think it shows in the script as well that my backstory kind of goes hand in hand with the script, because you start to realize that, okay, she might be this, she might have this dingy, whatever you said, past, but she is ultimately in this moment, and this is all that's in the script, so we don't know, maybe she didn't even want to get into her dingy past, but when you see the words on the script and I played her, it's like, no, she is just a human who's beautiful and wants to love, and she has a I depicted her as someone who has a beautiful heart, and you can see it. Yeah. And you can see that she wants to get out of this mess or whatever mess she's entangled in. And, like many of us, we've been in a situation that we might not have wanted to be in, and we might have made mistakes, but we wanted to get out, and we got out of it, and we hold shame to it. And so just like every single human, she might have had shame. And so we as people might be skeptical to understand another person whose values or whose status or whatever it is, or job might seem different from us. Like if she's she's lady of the night,
yeah,
then it might open skepticism or judgment from us. But when you start to realize that she's just like you, she's just like me, she's just like that person on the street, she has feelings and she loves, and she actually has a great heart, then you start to see her as what she is instead of what she does or what she's trying to get out of, as human. And we all have been in that kind of situation. It might not be the exact situation, but we've all been in a situation where we've kind of felt some sort of shame. And so I don't want my characters to be someone who's looked at like that. I want them to be someone who's looked at like they're human.